drop your location in the comment box. Henriette from UK, from Nottingham, thank you very much. Angelina, Dr. Akpo Bome from Lagos, thank you very much. From Portsmouth, thank you very much. West London, very interesting. So I guess those in the UK have it. So thank you once again for joining this webinar from Birmingham. Okay, so I guess we have a lot of us joining in from the UK, and that's very interesting to hear. So as mentioned earlier, the speaker circle has been on from April, and we've had amazing speakers who have touched on finance, touched on mental health, how to overcome career pitfall, different topics. And this evening, we also have an amazing speaker, and we also have an amazing topic to delve into this evening. And for the month of November, our topic for the speaker circle is no wasted time, how every experience builds you. So we know this is less than 6 weeks to end the year. For most people, the year went exactly the way they planned it. For others, we've had few ups and maybe a lot of high, and others, I'm sure some people are still expectant that the next 6 weeks would have something better for them to end the year. So that's why we have this webinar, to just let you know that whatever has been your experience, the good and the not so good experience, every experience actually counts. So if you know you want to end the year with clarity, not comparison, I'm sure for most of us professionals on LinkedIn, we see a lot of, I've gotten this certification, gotten this new job, moved to this new country. So most times when you follow those trends on LinkedIn, you might put yourself under pressure. So this webinar is just to let you know that everything that has happened this year is actually to help build you, and you need to end the year with clarity and not comparison. And we have an amazing speaker, Abosede Alaka, to join us to share more light on this. So for those who are new to BYP, I'll just quickly read through this. So now, BYP Network was founded in 2016 by Kike Oniwinde Aguru, and the sole purpose is to connect Black professionals and students globally to offer visibility, career opportunities, and also business support. I said earlier, our vision is to change the Black narrative, and we have chapters in the UK. So if you're in the UK, we have many people in the UK. If you're in the UK, we would love to have you be a part of us. So you can scan the QR code, or you can go to our website to join any of the chapters. We have BYP London, we have BYP Leeds. We have a few chapters in the UK. So our folks in the UK can scan the QR code to be a part of those chapters and connect with like-minded professionals. So this is about our founder and CEO, Kike Oniwinde Aguru, who has founded BYP since 2016 to change the Black narrative. She holds a BSc in economics. She has been the vice chair of the London Chamber of Commerce. She has been nominated for numerous awards from Forbes 30 Under 30, Maserati Top 100 Most Innovative Founder, and other awards to just celebrate her contribution to the Black network. And now this is our focus for this evening. Why are we here? So now the topic, of course, is a very interesting one. There's no wasted time. Every experience counts. So I'm sure everyone on this call, from January till now, maybe the year has gone exactly as you planned, or as mentioned earlier, there has been a few ups and downs. Some may have slowed you down. Some may have taught you more lessons. So now this webinar is to make sure that you get grounded insights to help you connect the dots in the year, just to make sure that once you end 2025, you don't end it like you wasted the year. Because trust me, there is no experience, no lesson that has been erased. So now we'll get practical tools from our amazing speaker, Abosede, on how to turn those experiences into direction and clarity. And we'll also get reflective prompts that would help us reset, reframe, and refocus. So now we would like to introduce our very amazing speaker, Abosede Alaka. Now, Abosede is a social impact consultant, independent trainer, and facilitator with over 10 years of professional experience. Now, she has background in corporate strategy, business development, and she has led many transformational projects across healthcare, tech, and retail. Now, she has also managed international programs across the UK, Belgium, and Italy. And she has worked with major global clients, including Medtronic, Biorad, Total Energies, and ALD. Now, Abosede is an experienced consultant to also youth-focused charities, foundation, and she has continued to support organizational development and capacity building. Now, that is a mouthful to read, just to let you know that our speaker has those experiences, just to prove that there is no experience that is actually a waste when you combine those experiences together. Now, Abosede delivers training for leading purpose-driven organizations, such as Aleto Foundation. She's also focused on helping people build clarity, confidence, and communication skills that drive personal and professional growth. Now, because she's focused on helping people, that's why we have her on this call, because she wants to help you and she also wants to help me. Because she's focused on helping people build clarity, confidence, and communication skills that also help them drive personal and professional growth. Abosede is a mentor, she's a coach, she's a speaker on social mobility, career pivots, and personal development. And the amazing part is that she has been a long-standing member of BYP Network. And like we said, no experience is a waste. She has been an amazing volunteer in numerous BYP events, in-person events, from our Careers First, New Year, New Network events, and just show you that every experience from the corporate world to volunteering has brought her to where she is now. Abosede is also the founder of Impact on the Goal Circle and continues to deliver confidence, which continues to deliver gamified confidence, inclusion, and allyship workshops. So thank you very much, Abosede, for joining us this evening. We really look forward to learning and, of course, ending this webinar with clarity and with an amazing way on how to round up our experiences as we look forward to the new year. So thank you very much, Abosede.
Thank you so much for the intro. Blessings. Hi, everyone. Can you put some things on the chat? It's going to be a super interactive session. I'm Abosede, as she said. I'm of Nigerian heritage, born in Brussels, but I live now in the UK since the past 5 years. While I have a presentation, can we start maybe understanding if you are working, if you are studying, if you are looking for a job? It would be great that you put that in the chat while I get my presentation ready. Working, some more participation in the chat. Currently in my first year uni. Prina, can you say what you are studying? It would be good. Working, can you put more details, sectors? I'm very curious, right? To know a little bit like what's the demographic for tonight. And also it's good for the others to know. Charity sector, oh, that's good. Me too. Entrepreneurship and business. I am studying English at uni. Perfect. JDI, working DI Tech. Very good. From BYP and looking for a job. Perfect. All right. Can you all see my screen? Thumbs up. I'm going to put it in full screen and we're going to start straight right in. So as you've seen, I have been requested to help you today and support you so that at the end of the session, you will be very confident of what you have. You will be very confident on how to talk about it, how to pitch and present those strengths you have, and then you will receive an action plan to build on this for 2026. So it will be a 3-part, very interactive session. I'm not someone who likes to talk only about me, especially that it is important that you guys have tangible takeaways. So today will be about a clarity confidence blueprint for students, professional, and anyone obviously who's there. As you've seen, she read my bio. The nice picture here is from 2 weeks ago. I was in the University of Bristol, hosted by the Black in STEM Society. And those lovely students had a very, very fun and engaging and interactive session on career readiness. So they learn how to present the skills, how to use the strength of their CV, and how to sell themselves in terms of skills, competence, and everything, like every achievement they've done. So it was so fun. I would start by saying that what I'm doing now is a portfolio career. And obviously, is it the future of work? That will be your choice, to research. But I want to say that it's a bit non-traditional to not stay 9 to 5, and to just wait probably for promotion. So, unfortunately, I come from, a country where there was a lot of discrimination, barriers at work, and bias, especially after you got hired. So that's why my focus is today. In green, you see all the skills that I had to develop. I call it my survival toolkit. So it's everything that I had to master to navigate every situation, every challenges in every environment. Because guess what? Coming from Brussels, I really didn't know what was, behind a refusal, a bias, or something that would negative that would happen. What I know is that obviously it's a mix of discrimination. I'm a woman. I'm black. I have, a master's degree coming from business school. I am friendly. I think you can also feel my energy through the screen. So sometimes it was a little bit like an accumulation of different things. But at the end of the day, I still wanted to enjoy my work, and I still wanted to know how to navigate all the situation, because I cannot change the system directly, or it obviously it takes time. But I still wanted to be able to use every experience, every work, every student job, every experience. I still wanted to maximize them. So it was important for me to start learning about practicing public speaking, pitching about my skills. It's not about resigning and not having something after. It's not about, saying, yes, I worked there 6 months and I think now I can do something else. It's about also preparing, planning things, and stay enough so that you can really say that you master some skills. I was very observant, very curious. I was talking with other departments, other colleagues. I know how it feels to be sometimes, feel like brain fog, frustrated, or, lethargic. You feel like it's paralysis, but actually turning those feelings into positive one by still being in motion. This is how I got, out of it. Obviously, I'm not in that country anymore. I'm here, but it's just to show that I still worked in different sectors, having different roles, and I was able to actually use my transferable skills. We will talk about it more later. So explore what you are good for. Some people, they would say, I'm not really sure, while maybe their friends and family saying all the time that they are good at something. Step outside your comfort zone. And this one is usually a difficult one. So I put it even twice. Try to think about, learning, try new things. When I moved in the UK, I started hiking, I started learning salsa. Obviously, it's good. I was out in the nature, I was outside dancing, made new friends and things like that. But it's just also to have that balance between, obviously work, who you are, and new things that you are going to learn. Pre-plan important events in advance. This one is a really important one. If you have a presentation, an interview, or anything that you have to present at work, at school, or even in a volunteering experience that you have, I feel like the planning is maybe not enough. I now kind of, work with students who are volunteering for me. And I can see sometimes that if they had practiced more, they would be more natural on the screen, especially now that, you can record yourself, you can look at yourself in the mirror and, make sure that you do enough research. A lot of the work that I do, obviously, is finding organization I like and that we have a win-win situation. I can contribute to them. So I do a lot of research and people say, I didn't know they were existing. Well, research solved that, problem. I think that being curious, be assertive and bold would be also something that obviously I think that I now master. I don't hesitate. I do it. So when I was doing 9 to 5, I was still doing this when I moved into the UK. I wanted to volunteer and I wanted to make an impact now for the next generation. This is my passion. I want to help the next generation navigate situation better than what I did. So I'm sharing. And I actually heard about a foundation and I DM, if I can say that, I've messaged them on LinkedIn, both the CEO and the CEO. A few weeks later, they contacted me, did the interview, and started volunteering. And that's when I realized the balance between, my work 9 to 5, where I was usually bored, not enough stimulated because I learn very fast, and the volunteering that I was doing, it was incomparable. So I decided to set up my own consulting business and focusing on youth charity, making sure that I transform their vision into system that works, making sure that they have efficient process. So enough about me. I want to say that obviously, if you have question, feel free to unmute. Do not only write in the chat. But that's one question for you. So we are going now to start with making sure that we identify your strengths, your competences, and your skills. So what is the one skill you wish, school, uni had taught you? I've put some example in the circle, but I would like you to take 1 minute and write it in the chat. I am now reading. So, what is the one skill you wish? What? How to make money, definitely. Financial management. Another one, public speaking. Ariette, I agree so much. Networking, I agree. I will agree with everything, obviously, that you are going to say, but I just want to see if people resonate with each other. Something else? People writing on the chat? No? So let me go to the next one. Today, we will then learn 3 things. Translate your experience into expertise. Saying, I have a PhD, I have a master's degree, I do this role, I'm project manager, I am a data analyst. It is reading, you are describing. And actually, what I want us to learn today is how we can transform it into skills, into something that contributes to an organization, to a community, and making sure that you know how to tell that story. We will also learn how to tell that story with confidence and being clear. And then, like I said, I will share with you the action plan for 2026. As you can see, the image for me is very important and telling. Yes, you are hired, but is the environment safe, inclusive? How are you going to navigate, positive, but also, challenging situation if it happens? I think that, usually that part is left aside. And I think it's obviously very important. So let's start with the first one. What do you need most right now? Again, put in the chat either something that you see on the screen or something else. I would like to know, what do you need most right now? And probably having someone else writing, thank you, motivation. Usually that's the one key thing that shows that, okay, there is something that you will learn today. Because if you start feeling less motivated, is already a signal. So I want all of you guys to realize that if you feel like, okay, much more confidence again for Louisa, Henriette as well, this is going to be the starting point. Motivation for Aisha as well. Exactly. I felt the same back then when I was, working. And it's just like sometimes I was like, but what company will get me? And, can I have like the most exciting project or something that would kind of like be a little bit more complex? So my brain is stimulated. I completely hear you. Opportunities, Prerna. I also agree. Lack of opportunities. I used to work in a small company I was very young back then, and they said the company is too small. So literally, if you are evolving that fast, you need to look for a company that's bigger. I did follow that advice, and I understood that obviously when the company is bigger, there is like more opportunities. But again, like I said, then there is discrimination, then there is bias that exist. Sue has said what she needs right now is communication skills. Then I have Apobome who's saying job satisfaction, being happy that you've done something and that you're proud of it. And that is something that I would say in a year, you might not have every month or every week where you are satisfied, but at least having the half 50-60% of the year where you nailed a project, a task, and you did something great. I think that should be on the contract. When we sign a job, we will make sure that you are satisfied about the job, right? So let's continue with the exercise. I see like you are in the mood now. You get what I'm going in. The practice activity is, I'm going to ask you to write one sentence you wish you could say with confidence. So, obviously, based on what you said, I want you to make one sentence. So, I don't see you, but I will show you also. And obviously, it would be great to have someone maybe to unmute and say it out loud. It, your message needs to be clear. So, I give you a simple prompt. Someone has said, I need communication. So be more specific, right? I'd like to lead this project. Here's an idea I think will work. No, this is not my responsibility. That will be more around boundaries. I'm ready for more. That is about all the motivation and the opportunities I saw on the chat. So if you could write a small sentences, making sure your message is clear, plus, like I said, short reasoning, describe, and a confident tone. So even if you write, there is some verb, that are more in actions that you can use. The combination of those three things will make sure that your communication in writing or verbally will have high impact. So I'm giving you again 1-2 minutes, and I'm going to do the exercise myself so that you understand where I'm coming from. So, one sentence I wish I could say with more confidence at work or at uni. So, back then when I was young, I wish that I was able to speak up in meetings, making sure that my ideas were relevant enough, and useful to improve the productivity of my team. That's all. So I'm going to go and look in the chat and read. If someone wants to unmute, make sure that, the way I kind of like said it with the tone, make sure to do the same. Ariette, maybe you want to give it a go. If not, let me know and I will read it for you.
Hello.
Hi, Ariette. Great. Thanks.
Yes, I will try to give it a go.
Perfect. I love this.
Okay. It is true that I don't have a background at all in finance, having being a civil engineer actually, but I'm smart enough to succeed in the investment world.
Whew. Yes, definitely. Congrats. I love the tone. And I could see, I don't see you, but I hear, and that's something important. I hear that she's, you know, chin up. She's like standing tall. And I can also hear in her tone that she's smiling. So obviously, I'm not going to say you have to repeat this every day, but you understand that it is important that all the small positive affirmation, achievement, and milestone are as much important that the bigger goal you have, because you also have to let your brain needs to absorb that positive energy to feel better. Thanks, Henriette. I'm gonna see if
Thank
Apobame, do
you.
you want thank you, do you want to do the same exercise now that Henriette has done it? It feels good to say something with the confident tone. Right, your turn. You just unmute yourself. It's a safe space. We are between us. You want me to read it? One, two, three. I want to have job satisfaction by having the best work life balance and living the good life. Prina, I want to attract all the opportunities which will help me in my career and will allow me to achieve the best. Thank you both for sharing this bold sentence and clear affirmation. This is an exercise that I like to give because obviously, when you think about a simple thing like a CV and you just take your CV and say, I don't even know where to start, usually it will be starting with transforming an experience into something that, like I said, you can sell to someone, like something where you can tell a story. I'd like to lead on this is not something over, it's not something too much. It's just a sentences with confidence. Here's an idea I think will work. Again, that's something that personally I have to do more and more because I'm looking for, mission, I'm looking for organization to add to, my rotation. So I will always have, the opportunity to negotiate, persuade, share my ideas, and I will do a little bit of research. I will observe and say, hey, here's an idea I think will work. Would you like to give me an opportunity for me to then deliver the result? Thanks, you three, for sharing. Let's go to the next exercise. Speak with confidence and clarity. So I want you to write down which do you struggle with most. I've gave again some example, which are usually, I just use my experience when I was, uh, after uni, starting new experiences, how I felt. Speaking up, I struggle asking for opportunities. Definitely, someone's mentioned that. Setting boundaries. I think one person mentioned that a little bit. Feeling confident in front of others. Saying what I actually want. Sometimes it is no one is asking anything. And the fact that you are not asking anything, well, no one is going to even consider what your request is. And sometimes they may also say no, but it's about the practice. So I've put a message there: advocating for yourself in rooms that weren't designed for you. I feel like that was all my life. People saw the potential, saw, the skills, saw the motivation, saw everything, and yet I had to wait 10 years, to maybe, grow in the career ladder. And yes, I was someone that, when I was working 9 to 5, suffered from bored out, which is the opposite of burned out. So I always felt like, okay, people maybe take 3 years and then they ask for a promotion. But for me, after a year and a half, I master my skills, I mastered the role, I understood the process, and everything was automatic. So I was eager for more. So I was always observant of how I could help the team. So I started offering ad hoc project to lead on ad hoc project, to do that on top of my job, because obviously I knew I had time to do both. I started, participating in employee resource group. I started, oh, if there was any opportunity for me to present in a, meeting, I would. I was just like, let me learn other skills and let me, motivate myself. So let me see on the chat again, what did you write? Ariette, I struggle a lot with speaking up. It stresses me, make me forget words, make mistakes. Ariette, you've just read a powerful sentence, but I understand that it is also around the practice. When I started the new business, I was a consultant, so behind the desk, Yes, I was doing some meetings, some trainings here and there, but that's not my place to be, doing public speaking. However, pushed by the CEO, suddenly one day I was hosting a panel of women during one of their leadership program, and since then I understood that, it is about practicing in a safe space. And this is why, the workshops I do and the trainings I do is to make sure that people actually feel safe to repeat, rinse and repeat. When I have an interview, Henriette, when I have a presentation, I do not start the day before or 2 days before. As soon as I know that I am selected for something, I start that day. I start practicing. So I will walk up and down at home. Like I said, some people maybe record yourself. You will see if maybe you use your hand too much or that you are not, fixing the camera. I would, like I said, in front of the mirror, and I will repeat until it feels natural. And then on the day of the presentation or on the day of the interview, it flows. No matter which sentence I use and in which order, it flows. So I would strongly suggest practicing and start obviously with small things, maybe repeating things that you know about yourself. Jedi has said, my struggle is articulating myself well when speaking spontaneously in front of people with no pre planning. You know how I solved this part? I started going out, selecting obviously really fun, engaging communities, events, and I was going solo on purpose because I wanted to practice that. And I was like, I don't have anything to say, but I would just say, hey, I'm Abosede. That's the first thing. That will be maybe my first goal. The next time I go, I would say, okay, let me see if I can, start a conversation. Maybe I can find someone, contacts. Maybe I can learn about someone's hobbies slowly and obviously one step at a time. Aisha said, I struggle with setting boundaries, speaking up about microaggressions within the professional world. Thanks, Aisha, for sharing. The boundaries is a very tough one. Because obviously there is always the what are they going to say? Am I going to be punished? Maybe it's best I don't say anything. And obviously, what's important, Aisha, I don't know if at work you have trustworthy people in your team or even sometimes in other teams that you use for those moments where you need to probably vent, speak up, but maybe it is not about the complaints. It's about, I need to go back to work. This is what happened. Thank you for listening. And you go back to your space because, process are also lengthy. But you can start by trying. And like I said, it's about finding the allies. Who is an ally at work? Who is your mentor? Who is your trustworthy person? Maybe at work or someone outside that can give you guidance. Because I think it's important to still raise the concern to that person. Maybe it's your supervisor that you trust and say, hey, this is how I feel. It's not the first time, or is it the first time? How would you support me? Um, did I take this thing too personal? And next time it happens, would you then intervene, or what should I do? Should I come back and tell you, etc.? At least try to mention it. And I'm saying that because sometimes you have obviously team leaders and managers who are your ally, and sometimes you need to find some. And Sue said, not valuing my capabilities enough. Again, it really ties up with what I said to Henriette. Thanks, Sue, for sharing. I want to go to the next one so that I'm sure we are on time. This time, we are going to transform a big or small experience you have, and I will show you how to translate it into expertise. So, again, I would like you to use everyday experiences because sometimes we feel like we close that £1 million project. No, you can literally use everyday experience to get a new role, to get forward in a project and things like that. So use paid roles you have, use volunteering that you've done, use caring responsibilities, use if you've done something while you are students, part of society, any side project. Some people sell jewelry, they make Christmas card on the side, and I want you to complete the sentences. My experience as shows that I am someone who can Again, I'm going to give you an example because it is hard if you've never done that. So while some of you are writing it down, sorry about my camera. It's just that when I share, it just removes the camera feature. The example I'm going to give you so that you understand the exercise is something not related to work or school. Someone who is a carer to their family, right? They would say, my experience as a carer shows that I am someone who has emotional intelligence. It also means that I can take decisions, but it also means that I know how to prioritize time because I have to take care of me and someone else. And the list can be obviously longer. But just saying I'm a carer, you then miss to share those transferable skills that actually can give you that next job. I'm a facilitator inspiring young women into getting into STEM pathways, right? I've done that for a year and a half. And then I wanted to work within the special need and SEND space, which I haven't worked on. When I got selected for the interview and on the CV, I made sure that I was highlighting I'm already working with young people from 5 to 18 years. And on the interview, I was making sure to say, yes, I'm involved. I'm curious about them. I listen about their question. I'll help them. And this is actually part of things that I can obviously replicate whenever I would be working in that therapeutic farm. So it was educating outdoor. And then when that experience was enough, I then used that experience to work further into then send schools, right? So you see how I kind of like capitalize one experience. I work enough to be sure that I master the skills, and then I use the skill to enter a new sector. Who wants to try? We're going to select one person. So you are the lucky one. Who wants to try the exercise? Okay. My experience as an innovative person enables me to be good in tech and still be good as a medical doctor, making me excellent in my skills. I love this. I don't know how you guys are feeling, but when I read this, I'm like, okay, you start to understand the exercise. Yes, you guys have the skills. It's the storytelling that we are practicing today. You are now creating this kind of like intro to you on a CV, the personal statement, I call it the teaser. So, how I get someone interested into wanting to read about me is not saying, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, no, it's probably starting with my passion and saying, hey guys, my passion lies in, hey, equipping the next generation with skills, network, and knowledge I wish I had when I was their age. You see the difference? And then I can start saying about, specific things. But hey, would you want to talk about that? Henriette, my experience running a juice venture during uni period to fund my studies shows that I am someone that is resilient, resourceful, and determined. Wow. So you see, you went back. You went back selecting an experience that actually you can probably use in your everyday life, saying, hey, I'm resilient, resourceful, and determined. Thank you for that. Aisha, my experience creating social media content as a hobby has allowed me to tighten up my time management and develop my creativity. Wow. Again, there's so many young people, guys. They work, they learn social media while they're studying. They know that they need those transferable skills better than probably our generation above 10, 35 plus. So obviously, I feel like when I see the next generation and Gen Z, they're doing things right, actually, multiplying the activities they have. Thank you so much for sharing. Let me go to the gift, if I can say that. So now I want you to write down all those three plans or action plans or exercises. Those ones are going to build your confidence, clarity, opportunity, and obviously for you to feel more closer in the community. Those are three things that I would suggest that you write down. No pressure at all to do them, but end of the year holidays, there's some moment you're going to be bored. Pull up one of these and start doing the exercise before 2026. The first one is called What Held You Back the Most in 2025. I think it's important to do that introspection once a year. Sometimes you can do it obviously twice a year, but once a year is already good. Was it fear of speaking up, not knowing what to do next, low confidence or clarity, lack of support, burnout, border, etc.? So, guys, this is for you and you. Reflect openly with yourself and write down what helped you most. It's important to identify that because now you can start thinking about what will be the bigger goal and the small goals getting there. Rebuild habits. What's a tiny habit you can commit to do each week? Do not be too eager or too quick to want to see results or to give up. Habit that you put in place will take at least 4 to 6 weeks before you see some of the results. It's like a little bit the domino effect. It is hard at the start because you give up, but start again, be consistent, be regular. I gave you some examples under the question. Journal confidence wins. Again, guys, I saw so many positive things that you haven't even kind of like used before because you think this is not important, this is not worth it, but it's actually those things that build your confidence. This is how also you are clear on who you are and your skills. And then finally, you have to type the one goal that would change everything if you achieved it. And then you write your goal. So obviously the best way is probably take a picture, but you can obviously write it down in your notebooks or in your notes in your phone. Those three things, guys, combined is also a good way to pause, reflect, like I said, with you and you. Maybe someone obviously who knows you very well can share your response with. But this is how I start also reframing all, that limited belief I had on myself. And I started seeing, actually, instead of thinking that I'm not capable, I'm actually so skilled and I actually can sell those skills to someone else.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, yeah.
Sorry about it. No,
Hey.
Oops, it's over. This is me. I just want you to obviously make sure you follow up. If you have any question, follow me on LinkedIn. Follow those two new pages on Instagram and LinkedIn, which are called Impact on the Go Circle, because I use real life scenarios, gamified, workshop to make sure you guys, instead of us being off camera, I see you and we can actually, really work. But you guys actually work on the scenario. So, like I said, people are in the front and we do different scenarios. My understanding of everyone in the audience today is that obviously you don't need sometimes to be more experienced, because from what everything has written, I'm like, woof, the skills are there. But the storytelling and the practice of telling that story, of identifying those skills and pitch them with confidence, that's what actually you can work on. So this is the end of officially the session. And obviously I knew that it would be so short. So I just wanted to make sure you guys, if some of you want to work with me, and this time it will be off camera, we will really unmute everyone. It will be our safe space. I'm happy for us to meet online. I say in person, but it obviously depends if people are London based, but it will be online. Second week of December. Time 6 p.m. then, GMT. And it will be focused on skill audit and confidence reset, free masterclass. I will help you really practicing, because obviously here I really did a small demo, but I'm sure that you guys and I together, and I feel like obviously the group works really well, we could then go deeper. If you enjoyed today, make sure you sign up. It's very easy. You complete, and then I'm in contact with you, and I will send you then the invite link so that we can only then focus on exercises and that you can practice. Can you name the skills you have? Can you communicate them? Can you pitch them with confidence? That would be the focus on that free masterclass. So I'll be really, really, really happy to see many of you there. Thank you so much. I think we have 2 minutes if some of you have question, but obviously I can also, if you have anything, make sure to share. If you want me to put the QR code again, I can do that as well. But thank you, it was a pleasure. Thank you in the chat.
Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for joining, and thank you very much, Abosede, for the very insightful and practical session.
Thank you so much. You've got it all. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Everybody, bye.